and good morning, my friends. This is Isaiah, and you are here. Hope everyone's doing wonderfully this morning. It's another beautiful day out. Kind of excited today. Embarking on a brand new chapter in my life today. I anticipate it to be successful part of my journey. It's been a crazy year. Everything's kind of brought me up to this point. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. I'll be going into that in more detail in my next video. I'll be doing for the final video of the year, I'll be doing a year-end review video. And that's going to be on the 31st, so watch out for that. What do I want to discuss today? I want to discuss the life force of currency. The life force of currency. Currency being money, moolah, coin, dinero, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if dinero. Seems like I've heard that somewhere before in a movie, but I don't know if that's a money term or not. But cash. No matter where you live in the world, you are subject to it. Because you either have access to it or not enough access to it. Money all in itself is its own life force, has its own spirit. I've mentioned this before in the Spirit of Giving video, but whenever the collective human consciousness puts all their energy and focus into an object, situation, subject, it brings it to life, so to speak. We're pouring life force energy essentially into it. We're turning our perspective to it. We have a series of beliefs surrounding the subject of whatever it is that we as a species are focused on. In this particular circumstance, we're going to discuss currency, money. Everyone in the world has different ideas when it comes to money on how to get it. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? You have a history with it. You were raised to have certain ideas about it. Maybe you believe that it comes to you easily. Maybe you believe that it's hard to attain. Maybe you believe that it's evil. Maybe you believe that it's good. There's a lot of different beliefs that people have surrounding the subject of currency. And all of those beliefs will determine how money, I guess, reacts to you in your life situation. Because money is a life force all on its own. Currency and the exchange thereof of some form of money has been around for many, 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 many years. It's an exchange of energy. The actual tangible physical cash or coin is just a symbol of that energy. What we are exchanging with another person when we purchase something or we go out into the world or we pay bills, it's an exchange of energy. Because in today's day and age, in this third dimensional reality that we currently live in, for the most part, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, you have to exchange a piece of your time, of your life, in exchange for currency, for money. That assigns that currency or that money a value. It assigns your life, a piece of your life, and giving it life force energy. So we go out and we exchange our time in return for currency so that we can purchase goods, pay bills, and sustain ourselves in this third dimension. Now, as I always say, knowledge is power. power is in the knowing. When you understand how money comes in and out of your life, have a firm understanding for it, then you can decide what you want to do with that. Now, money is not evil. Some of the things that we do with it may be deemed evil or negative. People do die for it. Wars are waged in the name of it. And that I can see how, and that does give some of the ways that people choose to bring money into their realm of existence, into the perception. That they may be doing that with bad intentions, but that is most certainly not the only way. It doesn't have to be that way. That's just how some people choose to perceive and believe that they need to acquire it. Maybe you make something. Maybe you create something that helps people in the world. And in return, that spirit, that life force of currency, of money, is drawn to you because of what you're able to produce for the world. So you see, you have to give something back. You have to put something out into this reality in order for it to be drawn into you. You have to exchange. You have to offer a service. You have to offer something for that energetic expression to come into your life. Oftentimes, I say this a lot, you have to be in alignment with the spirit of currency, or it will not come into your life. If you're not willing to, more often than not, give an exchange for currency, currency will not appear in your life. Now, there are those circumstances and situations where perhaps we win a lottery, or we just stumble across a couple $100 laying in the road on the street. Now, those things happen. And yes, that is currency coming into your life, but it's not a consistent thing. It's a one and done. It's a statistical marvel. It's a situation where you have drawn a massive amount of favor into your life, and it's a part of your destiny. It's a part of something that you need to experience. And this is not something that happens commonly on the daily basis. And if it does happen, wonderful. I hope that it does happen for you. That's a wonderful thing, to just acquire a large sum of money with no real exchange for it. Albeit that I think that sort of thing is fleeting. Because when we receive something that we may not be totally in alignment with, it does leave us. That's why so many people dwindle through lottery winnings. They go from one state of being, boom, to another without having raised or changed their vibration, without having exchanged the service to draw in that life force currency, and where they're not in alignment with this life force, they lose it. It's fleeting. They don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do with it. They just burn through it really quickly. But for most of us on a daily basis, we exchange a service in return for this currency. We exchange bits of our time. And how you do that is entirely up to you. The circumstance in which you acquire the necessary funds to live in this life, to live the lifestyle you want to live, how you do that, that's entirely up to you. That ties into what a lot of my videos have surrounded up to this point, and that is, you can be whoever you want to be. You can become whoever you want to become. It's all up here. You decide what you want to do in this life, and that includes, you get to decide what it is you want to do to earn money, what impact you want to make in this world. But money should be respected. because we are giving a service, we are giving a part of our time, of ourselves, to acquire currency, to acquire this money. It needs to be respected, and it needs to be understood. It needs to move. Stockpiling it is not always the answer. Money needs to, if you're going to save it in a bank, so it can gain some interest, so it's moving. It doesn't grow stagnant. At least in a bank, it's being moved around. It needs to flow in your life. This is not something I have perfected. It is something that I am working towards perfecting. The universe has been good. I've been fortunate enough to, maintain a living. It hasn't always been easy. But currency has moved in and out of my life over the years. There's been times where it's been easy, and there's times where it's been a little bit rougher, but it's always been there. And I feel like at this stage I'm getting to a point of perfecting this understanding, of drawing that into me, being in alignment with that. I'm stepping into, or going back to a field that I used to work in today. Just to very briefly lay this out, for the last several months, worked for myself, been an Uber driver, been making moves on my own, independently. 1099, self-employed guy. Going back into the realm of full-time work today, going back to working for a company and no longer working for myself, working as a personal trainer. This is something I have experience with and I am very passionate about. I'm actually making a choice to do this, to no longer work for myself, because working for yourself is very rewarding, but it can be very challenging at times. So I feel that this will both financially re-solidify my financial foundation, so to speak, and I can get some things back on track, and I'll be doing it in a way that makes me happy, brings me joy. It enriches people's lives, and it's just something I really enjoy doing. I don't feel like I'm going to work when I'm doing it. So, and it's an opportunity that just kind of came my way very synchronously. I wasn't looking for this job, and it just kind of popped up in my newsfeed on social media. Said, hey, do you want to apply for this job? There's this position open. I said, sure. Applied for it. I'd already had another job lined up that I was getting ready to go into, working with special needs individuals. And I had never done that before, but I have done this before, and I know where I stand on it, know how I feel. And the company is great. It's a great company to work for. It's the same company I was working with before. So this was the path I took. I was offered the job at the other company working with the special needs individuals, but I decided to go this way instead. You got to do what makes you happy. Whatever you're doing to bring money, to bring currency into your life, just try to make sure it puts a smile on your face while you're doing it, because you spend a lot of time there. And no, you 100% do not have to work for a business or a company to make money, to earn a living. That's a paradigm that I believe is on its way out the door. We have a lot of up-and-coming entrepreneurs in this right now. A lot of people starting businesses and doing things on their own, making moves on their own. And that is something I will go back into eventually. But for now, I feel this is where I'm being led, and this is what I'm being led to do. And there's some people I feel I'm meant to meet and work with, and so that's what we're going to do. And I'm still going to kind of work for myself on the side while I'm doing this. But It's entirely up to you how you draw this life force into you. Just make sure that when you do it, that you do it with integrity, that you do it, with a clear conscience. Don't do anything illegal to acquire the money that you need, Things like that can catch up with you. Well, what are your thoughts on this subject? What experiences have you had with the spirit of currency? Have you ever thought of it that way? Thought of money and currency and the exchange thereof as a living force that we interact with on a daily basis, that that we decide how and when it comes into our lives? Did you understand that if you're not in alignment with it, it will not come into your life? The ideas that you have about it determine how much of it you have in your life. If you believe in lack and you believe that it's hard to get, hard to acquire, it's going to be hard to get and hard to acquire. And you will be lacking it if that's your thought, if that's your belief system. Discuss this in earlier videos, discussing beliefs and how what we believe is what we perceive, is what we create. So no different with money, no different with currency. If you believe in lack, if you believe it's hard to come by, if you believe that it's hard to get, it will be. If you believe it comes to you openly and freely, then it will. And if you keep it moving, keep it circulating, that much more of a flow, an energetic flow of currency can come in and out of your life. You have to kind of give. Now, I didn't mention this just a few minutes ago. You have to give it in order to receive it. We give to receive. We create a cycle. If we just stockpile it and it's coming, and that stockpile builds up the pressure, and we're not ever giving any away or giving it out or letting it move freely in our life. You can put your money into investments. You can put your money into any kind of investment. That's movement. Invest it in yourself. It doesn't have to be an external investment. Invest it in yourself. Invest it in a startup. Invest it in something you would like to do in life. Give it to charity. Give a portion of your proceeds to charity. I always highly recommend this. We do not have enough people in this world that are giving, of those less fortunate or that are in a situation where they're limited as to how they can draw money into their life. And sometimes people need that. It just needs to be given to some people. And that's just a fact. So you got to always keep money moving. You got to keep it. It can't sit still. It can't grow stagnant. That's not a way of showing respect to the spirit of money, to the life force of currency. So always keep it moving. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the subject of money, how you view it, how you perceive it. So if you would, just share your ideas and your thoughts in the comment section below. Wherever you're at in life, I hope you're drawing much currency, much money into your life. Know that it's not the most important thing, but it is a very important thing. It's how we sustain ourselves. And the more of it that we have, the more of it we can give back, and the more things that we can do, the more we can change this planet. Until next time, my friends, I hope that you have much peace in your mind, much love in your heart, much balance in your soul. Take care.